Hey guys, I've got another Cardfight Vanguard video today. This is finally going to be on the stand-up deck sets. These are the special overdress focused structure decks that came out just last week. Yeah, on Friday. Of course, we've got Graham Grace. We got Orfist and Favernil. Now, we've had Graham Grace and Orfist in English before, but this is Favernil's first appearance for the English game, so that's pretty good. You know what? Since Favernil is the newer one, let's go over him first. Of course, we see the featured nation is Dark States. There's Favernil there. He's a dragon. Favernil there. This is what comes in Favernil's deck. Pre-constructed deck. Extra cards, which is nice. A short deck box, which is the box itself. Sleeves, which is very nice. And a deck holder. And then there's all the cards included. Alright, so we'll take this tiny little sleeve off the deck box, which he keeps it held shut. Come on. There we go. And there. Cardfight Vanguard. There's Favernil and the guy who uses him. He was the main antagonist for the Cardfight Vanguard Overdress video game, which is on Switch, computer, and I believe something else. Might be PlayStation as well. But yeah, I mainly play it on the Switch, and he's the main antagonist for that game. We got another nice picture of Favernil at the back here. Picture of the guy that uses him. I forget his name. Kenji or something like that. Kato? I know it begins with a K. And let's just go over what's inside. There's the cards. Now, one problem with this product is all the cards are common, but that's fine. It was like that in the Japanese product. And really, all the price is going to the extra accessories, which wasn't included with stuff like the Chronojet stuff and all that. Oh, this is a very, very good deck box. It, again, has Favernil on the front, the Dark States logo, his user on the back. That's pretty good. We'll get that out of the way so we can get a good look at the deck box that you can use for specific decks if you want to single any deck out that you're using for a tournament. And of course, under the deck, we've got the sleeves. These Favernil sleeves are actually really nice as they've got a rainbow patterning to them. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Just in general, pretty good sleeves. And we just have something that was keeping stuff in the box. Some foam. Well, let's go over the cards in Favernil's set. We'll put Favernil here, or the Favernil box here. Something special about Favernil, you can only have one copy of him in a deck, so he'll be the 1 grade 3 in your ride deck. However, there are ways to circumvent having only one copy of him, as there will be other ways for you to trigger effects that, well, such as Persona Ride, which you can only activate by using multiple copies of a card, which you can't do with Favernil. So, yeah. Purgatory Dragon Deity Favernil. So, yeah. You may only have one Favernil in the deck. At the beginning of your main phase, your opponent chooses one of their rearguards, retire it, and if you did not ride this turn, which is most likely the case, this unit gets an extra 10,000 power and a critical, which is very, very good. Another ability on Vanguard, When your opponent's rearguard is retired, which will happen with the first real ability, during your turn, put a card from your hand into your soul and draw 1 card. And then at the end of the battle of this unit attacked, if the sum of the grades of Dark States cards in your soul is 13 or greater, counterblast 2, and you restand this unit. And then it gets drive -1 until the end of the turn. So yeah, Favreneel's pretty decent. And he's the main guy for this deck. Gear Rhinoceros of the Barreling Impulsion. This is the grade 2 for the Ride deck. It is a generic one. Much like we'll see in the Graham Grace one, so you'll maybe find a better case for cards to use in the Ride deck. In the game, he used the Bruce Ride line, which will probably be good enough as it's the most generic Dark States Ride line there is. This thing's effect is when you would ride it from the Ride deck, you can ride with Soul Blast 1 instead of choose a card from your hand and discard it. Then again, you might find some uses for this Ride line in Favreneel as is. So maybe you won't have to modify it. That is it for the Ride deck. As the main focus of Favreneel is having a lot of high-graded cards in the Soul, we're going to see a lot of grade 3s in this deck. Reaper in the Shadows, Zelmort. This is an older card, so I'm not going to go over it. We got 4 copies of him. Execution Dragon, Vorpal Scythe. I believe this was a promo at one point, so yeah, that's pretty good that now we've got a easier way of getting this. And he's very important in Favreneel. Time Jarrett Dragon. 4 copies of that. This is the new card Favreneel got in this deck. This is Purgatory Baron Herdios, I think? Yeah. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Favreneel in its card name, put this unit into your soul. Put this unit into the soul. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and then retire it. Again, another way to trigger Favreneel's effect, which is actually not once per turn. Go figure. At the beginning of your ride phase, if you have a Vanguard with Favreneel in its card name, bind this card and discard a card from your hand. So you bind this card from the soul, activate Persona Ride, and until the end of turn, you can now activate Persona Ride with other card effects, and you cannot ride, which won't matter as you only have the 1 copy of Favreneel anyway. So yeah, 4 copies of this guy, which is nice. Another Favreneel card. This is Squilod Freaks. This was another promo card. A lot of the cards for Favreneel were promos. Steam Mage Ashurita. This is another pretty old Dark States card, so and it's still nice to have for Favreneel. Gungan Ram, another one from set 1, which is nice. Friend of the Netherworld Ling. This was actually a promo card if you got the Dredjeweled Structure deck. So yeah, another good way to get this card. Repelled Malice Dragon. This was the set 6 PG for Dark States. So yeah, pretty nice to have an easy way of getting these, as Perfect Guards are always kind of pricey. Another common copy of the Dark States Overtrigger, which is alright to have. Can't have enough of those. 4 of these effect crits. Let's see. Lively Breath Dragon. We've got... Oh, wait, no. These aren't the effect criticals. These are the non-effect criticals. My bad. 4 of the other non-effect criticals from 6. So the Lively Breath Dragons. Let's see here. 3 of the non-effect draws. 4 of these non-effect heals. And now we're on to the extra cards. This is Elagos, is the first extra card. He was another Favreneel promo, and he's very important. I don't know why they only gave us 1 copy of him. You kind of want 4. However, I probably wouldn't go through the trouble of getting 4 copies of this product to get the other 4 copies of these promo cards. You can probably find them somewhere separately, so you won't have to worry about that. Crimson Expeller is the other one. Falcate Performer. Brainwash Swirler, which is very good to have. And to round off the cards, we have Gracious Gradle. Nice. So that is it for Favrenil. Let's... Who should we go over next? Let's do Graham Grace, who is the protagonist deck for the video game. So here we have Graham Grace and the person who used it in the game, Yuki, who was the main protagonist for the game. What else we got here? We got a nice picture of Graham Grace. We have the back. We got a picture of Yuki. Of course, just as with the other Favrenil deck, we got a box. We got the cards themselves. And sleeves for Graham Grace. So that's pretty nice. Set this off to the side. Let's go over the cards for Graham Grace. Now, I've gone over Graham Grace before. Yeah, let's put Graham Grace in this box here. Now, I've gone over Graham Grace before, so I'm not going to bother with it. In this, we get 4 copies. The generic Keter Sanctuary Ride line, you probably won't use this version of the cards in this deck, as the Blaster Dark with Mirren and Wingle Brave line is a bit better than this. So yeah, we won't be using these. Knight of Searing Blade Fernbale. So yeah, only getting 2 copies of him in here, but that's fine, as I got the promo versions a while ago. Knight of War Damage Frisato. That's a pretty good backup grade. Another backup grade 3 for you to have. This is the new card, Knight of Searing Refinement Defin. When your grade 3 or greater unit in the center column attacks, if you have Vanguard with Graham Grace in its card name, the attacking unit gets 5,000 power until the end of that turn. Until the end of that battle, front row, rear guard. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Graham Grace in its card name, and your unit in the center column attacked 2 or more times this turn, Counterblast 1, this unit gets an extra 15,000 power until the end of that battle. Pretty nice. We got, 4 copies of him. 2 copies of Cadwalla. He was only in the Youthberg trial deck, which is crazy expensive now, so that's a good way to get Cadwalla. Divine Sister Lagachant, I think. A few copies of her. Drilling Angel, that's another good one to pick up from this. Knight of Gil Sinelberg. Only 3 copies of that. Painkiller Angel, that's a pretty good one for this. Palladium Zeal Dragon, the set 6 perfect guard for Keter Sanctuary. A common Keter Sanctuary Overtrigger. We have this critical. Alright. This critical again. This draw. These heals, which is probably the most popular heal for Keter Sanctuary right now. And on to the extra cards. This is Mage of Alteration Turnar. He's pretty good in Ezel. Oh, this is a good one. This is a set 7 triple rare Knight of Rendering Flash Calber. Wayward Therapy Angel. This is a Youthberg card. And Bringer of Searing Wind, Lachi. This was another Graham Grace promo. So yeah, only one copy of it, and another Grail. So that is it for the Graham Grace deck. Let's move on to the last one, and probably the best one. The one I'd recommend most to pick up, the Orphist one. Now that is also because Orphist is going to get even more cards next week from the set 12, because Orphist is getting his masked version in that deck, and not that deck, in that set, and he's the main star of the set as well. So yeah, if anything, I'd say out of the box, Orphist is the best out of the box, and it's going to be the best as it's getting more support. So yeah, I'd say in the long run, if you had to get one of these, I'd probably get Orphist. There's Orphist there, and there's Zaxa there in his Shirogane disguise. So Zaxa isn't specifically from the video game. He is a character in the actual anime. And again, this is him in his evil disguise when he's working for the Uniformers. This is Orphist here. There's Zaxa there. There's the deck. Some sleeves for Orphist. The deck box. Very nice one. So let's put that there for now. Of course, we got 4 copies of Orphist Regis. I've gone over Orphist Regis before, so I'm not going to bother with that here. We've more or less gone over every card in the Orphist deck. We have Cubizia, Brutus, Fovi, Nuvoria, we got 4 copies of that. Clomagid, Grinder. This is the newer card. This is Polarix Dragon, or Polarix. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Orphiston's card name, you Soul Blast 1. Choose a world card with a different card name from the cards in your order zone from drop and put it into the order zone. Okay. When this unit is put into the drop from rearguard or hand during the battle phase, if your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, you may draw a card. So that's pretty good. We got 4 copies of him. This was a Orphist promo. This is Cardinal Principal Caligula. We have the original Brandgate PGs, so that's pretty nice. A common Stargate Overtrigger. We had one already in the Messiah Stride deck set. We have this critical. We have these Orphist-specific criticals, which is nice. These Orphist-specific draws. So yeah, a lot of the triggers are Orphist-styled. And we have the Orphist heals. Of course, now we have the Orders. Overcoming an Eternity. We got 4 copies of that. Howling Moonlight Night. 3 copies of that. And Eclipsed Moonlight, only 2 copies. And these are the extra cards. Event Robust, Cardinal Draco Destdrade. Sure. Oh, this is a very good one. Combine Rusher. He's actually a pretty decent grade 2 in the Ride deck. So you can switch out the grade 2 for this guy, which is pretty interesting. Bulbamine, Elementaris, that's a very good one. And then we got more. We got 5 copies of the Shadow Army tokens. So yeah, and that is about it for these decks. I hope you enjoyed this video.